Welcome back, guys. It is day 11 on the Camino Francés, breaking it down with the help of Google Earth Pro. This is, as I've said before, supplemental material to the vlog series that I did 3 years ago in 2017. Today, we're going from Santo Domingo de la Calzada to Belorado, 22 kilometers. We're going to be climbing about 200 meters over 22 kilometers, so you're not even going to notice it. Compared to days past where we have very little pilgrim support, a few towns in between the major one in the stages, today we're going to have not one or two, but actually 5 towns that we're going to come across today on our way to Belorado. A few of them have water fountains. Some of them are not treated, so you might as well bring a water filter or just stop at the bars, refill your camel bag or your water bottle. But just be prepared because you're also going to be exposed to the elements. And, if you're doing it in the summer, you're going to need it. But before we dig into today's stage, let's go over the Camino de Santiago as a whole, so that by the time you guys get there, you know it like the back of your hand. Today, we're going to be crossing to another province. We're leaving La Rioja behind and we're entering Castilla y León, starting with the province of Burgos. The Camino de Santiago, the Camino Francés, stretches about 800 kilometers from Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port all the way to Santiago de Compostela, and some people go to the end of the world or Muxia, and as always, I recommend you do both. I have already done them both, and the walk from Muxia to Fisterra is just amazing. Every Camino needs to end at the lighthouse in Fisterra. These are the major cities that you're going to come across. These are the ones that are easy to get in and out, so you can start your Camino and not have to waste time just getting to the starting line. As I mentioned before, there are a few provinces and autonomous regions that you're going to come across, and we start with Navarra, followed by La Rioja. Then we enter Castilla y León, the biggest one in Spain, which is divided by 3 provinces, at least 3 that we're walking across, and that is Burgos, followed by Palencia, and finally León. After León, we enter Galicia, and in Galicia, we have Lugo and A Coruña. Here's today's stage with the help of the elevation profile, and as I mentioned before, we're going to be climbing about 200 meters, but you're not even going to feel it because it's going to take you 22 kilometers to get there. A few hills along the way, but nothing much. What we're going to be doing, and you're going to feel it, is walking by the N120 highway. We're going to be trailing this road for the majority of the day. There used to be an old Camino route that I think they discontinue once they switch over to the road. I'll go over a little bit, but I don't have the GPS tracks, but I do know which towns it goes through. So I guess if you want to head in that direction, just do a little bit of research. The day started at 6:30, nice and early as usual, but I was beginning to get the feeling that I had to leave a little bit later than 7 a.m., at least when the sun was already out, because it was getting extremely cold in the morning. This was one of the coldest mornings on the entire Camino. It was 1 degree Celsius or about 34 degrees Fahrenheit, and I was not dressed for that kind of temperature, man. So I left the Albergue. I think I was one of the last ones, and right outside there was a large group of pilgrims that had gathered. I think it was like an expedition or like a tour company. And instead of stopping at the vending machine right next to the Albergue, I continued walking a little bit further, and I went to a bar where I had the usual breakfast already, a café con leche, Spanish omelet, and an orange juice just to warm up a little bit. I saw the forecast in the TV, and it was cold. I had already ran out of the data plan that I got in Paris. I got a 2-week plan while I was there and also for the Camino. Since I wasn't using it for navigation, just to like browse the internet, Facebook, I started to rely on the Wi-Fi at the albergues, but this was 2017 and the Wi-Fi at the albergue was horrible, especially when all the pilgrims were there and everybody jumped on the Facebook. You could barely see anything. So what I would do is just wait until like everybody went to sleep, like around 10, 11 o'clock at night, and that's when I would plan the next day's stage. From then on, when I did the Via Francigena and on, I started using T-Mobile. They have like a 1 Plus plan, I think it's called, where you pay about $80 a month and you get unlimited data and unlimited texting, which is what you need For navigation, you do need it for Google Earth Pro. It doesn't work without a data plan. What you can also do is just get like a SIM card in Spain and then refill it as you go along. It was 7:27 as I was making my way out of the town through the empty streets where I walked past a mural on my way to the bridge over the Rio Hoja. There's a chapel there. I saw a stork that I think came to say goodbye to me, or at least that's the way that I saw it. And it reminded me of a local legend, the local folklore from medieval times when a wrongfully convicted pilgrim was sentenced to death for theft. Santo Domingo worked up a miracle to save the poor man's life. It involved raising a roasted chicken from the dead to prove the man's innocence. There's a rest area here, and also this is where I think the split between the old Camino and the new route takes place. The old Camino I don't think is way marked anymore, but it heads in this direction following these small villages that you can see here along the way. But just like the Camino Inglés, if you do decide to just do the traditional route, you're going to have to do a little research, dig in, and probably find the GPS tracks. I tried to do it last night, but I couldn't find them. If I do find them, I'll include them in the files that are like in the link below in the description. There you can get all the GPS tracks that I'm working on as I do these videos. So I headed out of the town, trailing the highway. This is where I started seeing all the plants that froze overnight, and they were beginning to thaw as the sun came out. It was the coldest morning so far. Got to cross the road here by these water canals, and not far from there, as you can see, you're trailing it. Also today you get to see all the stone markers that I didn't see yesterday or the day before. So today is gonna be one of the days where I've seen the most amount of stone markers, and it was a little bit unnecessary at some points because you're just going on a straight line next to the road and you will see one every so often. 7:50 in the morning, found the walking stick by the 565 kilometer marker to Santiago. It came in at the right time because my Achilles tendons were starting to bother me, and since I left my walking stick back home, I was relying on sticks that I would just find on the side of the road. So you're walking, making your way through the fields, agricultural fields as far as the eyes can see. You're next to the road, which sometimes there's a little bit of traffic, but you're away from it. You're not actually walking like on a shoulder or anything like that. That would be kind of dangerous. And not far from there at 8:12, I got to Cruz de los Valientes, or the brave men that crossed. This cross marks a medieval land dispute between the towns of Santo Domingo and Gruñón. And it's funny because I just noticed that I saw Emma taking a break here once again. I saw her in Navarrete and I saw her here, and I will get to walk with her for a little stretch when I was getting closer to Burgos. And I don't know if you can hear it, but it started to rain outside. You can see my backdrop there. Yes, that is not the view from my house, and it's actually waving a little bit and it's pretty dark. That is because it's raining. I live in Florida and it happens. I was trying to avoid it, but it's gonna rain all week. From here, you have a detour. We are about the 25% of the way today. You have a detour if you want to avoid the main road. I found out about it just when I was doing Google Street View. I was looking for all the stone markers along the way, and I did notice pilgrims heading in that direction, and I followed them, and I saw the stone markers. So I guess if you want to get to Gruñón and avoid the highway, you can make a left turn here. There's a rest stop by the river, and instead of making a right turn here, just continue on down, walk past the cemetery, and then join the road in the town. Ermita de la Virgen del Carrasquedo. This used to be part of the old Camino. They have an albergue here. In case you want to stay, you're going to have to take a detour in that direction. I got to this spot over here where I took off my neck gaiter. It was 8:52 in the morning. I got to see the town in the distance. I flew my drone, got some shots of me walking. And 9:11 in the morning, right here at the entrance of town, there's a water fountain. I saw a pilgrim dog. I had to do a line to get some water to refill my water bottle, and then just follow the main road. I visited La Parroquia de San Juan Bautista from the 15th and 16th century to admire the altarpiece, which was restored in 1993. Outside is where I saw a bunch of pilgrims congregating there, taking a break. I guess these were the early risers, and either they were having a mid-morning snack by a compass rose on the Plaza El Horreo. I saw the temperature change from 2 degrees to 3 degrees Celsius on the pharmacy clock right next to a water fountain. As you can see, there are a few places here where you can stay. You have albergues, you have pensiones, ATM, bars. So if you do decide to stay in this town, you got some support. You have some pilgrim support. Another water fountain and rest stop on my way out of town before continuing on to the border between La Rioja and Castilla y León. It was 9:50 in the morning, almost 10 a.m. I got here. They have a huge marker there that tells you officially you're entering a new province. It took me 2.5 days to get across La Rioja, but it's going to take me a lot longer to get across Castilla y León. Up ahead is the town of Redecilla del Camino, the first one on this new province, and what's there to welcome you but a tourist office. You also have a crucero, a stone marker, and a water fountain. I follow the main street past a closed massage parlor that would have been nice to get in there and get a massage. I will get a few massages along the way, but a little bit further down the road. Made a quick stop at Iglesia de la Virgen de la Calle to admire the altarpiece once again. I was just taking my time, enjoying the sights, enjoying the Camino. I would much rather spend my day out in the countryside than at the Albergue on Facebook. I did stop across the street to get a mid-morning snack, and just before leaving the town at 10:30 in the morning, I got to this square. There was another water fountain, and I saw here, using a Google Street View, a woman with the same trolley that I have. Now, a lot of people ask me, can I use a trolley on the Camino Francés? And the truth is, that's where I found out about it. The first time I saw a person, a pilgrim with a trolley, was on my way to Fisterra. I saw another guy on the Camino del Norte. I just saw this woman right now here in this town with a trolley that was packed to the rim. I don't know how much weight she was carrying. If you do need it, bring one by all means. There might be a few stretches where you may have to go on the bike path because the terrain might be too rough. I said goodbye to the town and on I went for 1.6 kilometers to Castidelgado. I was at the 50% of the way, got there at 10:52 in the morning, and I spooked the locals as I saw them drinking water. So a water fountain, the water was not treated unless you have one of these. And then follow the main road past what little remains of the ruins of Palacio Fortificado. It was 10:57 when I got to La Iglesia Parroquial de San Pedro from 1746, which happened to be closed. And so was La Ermita de Santa María del Campo next door. Headed back out into the countryside, and it was time for me to take a painkiller because my Achilles tendons were just killing me. It kept happening. Early in the morning I felt fine, and then as the day progressed, my Achilles tendons were just starting to hurt a lot. I was relying on the walking stick, but around noon I had to take a painkiller just to numb the pain, enough for me to get to the Albergue. This is also when I bump into a pilgrim at 11:24 in the morning. The guy got lost today with so many way markers. He left the Albergue around 5 in the morning, no headlamp, and he took a wrong turn and realized it about half an hour when he was going in the wrong direction, so he had to come back. He lost about an hour. He was complaining about pain on his legs, on his feet from blisters, and he just wanted some company to the next town. The next town up ahead is Viloria de Rioja, and this is the birthplace of Santo Domingo. I got here at 11:30 in the morning. There's an albergue right at the entrance of town with a snack bar where you can stop and get something to eat. I also got to see those wagon wheels that they use for decorations, and I saw a playful dog right next to Iglesia Parroquial Asunción de Nuestra Señora with an information stand, a hotel, another water fountain. I think you can drink from this one right next to a rest stop where I saw pilgrims taking a break. Quick stop by the local cemetery before gazing at the ever-expanding fields and the N120 highway in the distance. We're gonna follow the highway all the way to Belorado with a quick stop an hour walks away in Villamayor del Río at the 75% of the way. There was a water fountain there. The water was not treated, you know. There was also a rest stop and a playful dog, which is in stark contrast to the dogs that I come across in other caminos that are not friendly at all. On the Camino Francés, I guess they get to see so many pilgrims on a daily basis that they're used to them. I was looking for a place to have lunch and I couldn't find one. And here's a tip. If you get to a small town, I recommend you head to the main road. That's usually we're going to have the bars, the open bars and the restaurants for the travelers that are passing by. Left the town at 12:24. I saw a shoe atop a stone marker and I did not take that one with me. And I trailed the road all the way to Belorado. Check out how many stone markers you get to see here on your way there. I got to Belorado at 1:13 in the afternoon, and right here you have another rest stop with an information deck. 1:18 in the afternoon, got to walk by the flags of Belorado as I took this secondary road to the town. There's a massive albergue here. Saw a few farmers working on their plot of land. And then I got to the municipal albergue El Coro, which happens to be a very homey, cozy albergue. I got my stamp, got to my rooms on the second floor, which had an amazing roof over the bunk beds. I got to see also a group of pilgrims that I will get to walk with along the way. And I also saw Maria. I got to meet her in Pamplona. Did not get to see her after that. And I will also get to walk with her for a few days. I also did my laundry by hand. They do have a washer and a dryer at the albergue, but I was doing it by hand, and then I hang it outside to dry. Once the shade took over the backyard, I moved my clothes to the bridge, to the handrail on the bridge. 2:52 in the afternoon, I was starving, so I headed to the main plaza to get something to eat, to get a bite to eat for lunch. And I went to a bar that was facing the main square where I had tapas for lunch and also I had some red wine. After I finished eating, I realized that I had left my wallet at the albergue, so I had to plead to the owner to let me go to the albergue. And this is not the first time. It will happen again as I get closer to Galicia. 3:52 in the afternoon, I saw the ruins of an old castle overlooking the town, and I walked up there to get some bird's eye view with my drone, which the shots were just amazing. I got a pretty cool looking drone-y shot. Those are the shots where the drone starts close to you and pulls back. I also got to see once again the storks nesting atop the church by the bell tower of Iglesia de Santa María la Mayor. I saw signs of stealth camping in the ruins of the castle, or maybe it could just be the locals, the young kids that go hang out up there. I headed back to the albergue where I picked up all my clothes before going to the main plaza around 7 o'clock at night to have dinner. I saw the group of Spaniards in the kitchen at the albergue. They were enjoying their dinner. And then just called it a day, guys. It was one of those days where it was just so cold that I just wanted to be inside my sleeping bag at the albergue. Tomorrow we're looking at a 27.5 kilometer day from Belorado to El Alquimista de Ajes, and we're going to be climbing a little bit over Montes de Oca. There's a mass grave there from the Franco era, but we'll get to that on the next video. Don't forget the annotations.